He was quiet. He was humble. But on one night, one game, Derrick Rose showed the world that greatness doesn't need a voice. It wasn't bravado. It wasn't showboating. There was no headline-grabbing trash talk. Just a kid from Chicago with a basketball in his hands and a city on his back. The year was 2009. The NBA was full of giants. LeBron James was already a superstar. Kobe Bryant was chasing another ring. The Celtics were defending champions. Chicago, they weren't on anyone's list of contenders. They were a team still trying to find themselves after the Jordan era. And yet, on April 18th, in Boston's TD Garden, Derrick Rose stepped onto the court for his first ever playoff game and made the basketball world stop what it was doing. This is the story of the night Derrick Rose made the world believe. Before that night in Boston, before the MVP chants, before the heartbreak, Derrick Rose was just a boy from Englewood, one of the toughest neighborhoods in Chicago. Englewood didn't hand out many dreams, but it did hand out challenges, poverty, crime, violence. For Derrick, basketball wasn't just a sport. It was an escape. Neighbors remembered seeing him dribbling down the cracked sidewalks, worn-out sneakers slapping against the pavement, his older brothers timing his moves, teaching him the fundamentals. They didn't coddle him. They sharpened him. By the time Rose hit high school, he was already a legend in the making. At Simeon Career Academy, he wasn't just the star. He was the show. Crowds would pack gyms just to watch this quiet kid glide past defenders, leap over big men, and finish at the rim like gravity didn't apply to him. Recruiters circled. National attention came. But Rose stayed focused. 1 year at the University of Memphis under coach John Calipari. That was all it took to cement his status as a future NBA star. He led the Tigers to the NCAA championship game, showcasing his fearlessness under pressure. In 2008, destiny called. The Chicago Bulls won the NBA draft lottery, and the #1 pick wasn't going anywhere else. The city got its hometown hero. At 20 years old, he was Rookie of the Year. At 22, he'd be the youngest MVP in NBA history. But before the MVP, before the league-wide respect, it all began in the 2009 playoffs. Chicago hadn't tasted real playoff hope since the days of Michael Jordan. The years after '98 were filled with rebuilding, false starts, and fading stars. The United Center faithful were hungry, desperate, for something to believe in. Rose wasn't just a player. He was a symbol, a homegrown talent, quiet and composed, who played with the same grit the city was built on. The Bulls entered the 2009 playoffs as the 7th seed. Their first-round matchup? The defending champion Boston Celtics, a team anchored by the Big Three: Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen, with Rajon Rondo emerging as a floor general. No one, not even the most optimistic Bulls fans, truly expected Chicago to win the series. But there was a sense of curiosity. What would this young point guard do under the bright lights? Crowd noise fades in. The echo of sneakers on hardwood. TD Garden was a fortress. Green everywhere. Boston fans loud, confident, and ready to send the young Bulls packing early. Kevin Garnett, sidelined with an injury, sat on the bench in street clothes. But even without him, the Celtics were intimidating. They had championship swagger. From the opening tip, Rose attacked. Not recklessly, but with purpose. He glided into the paint, absorbing contact, finishing layups against one of the league's toughest defenses. First quarter, Rose hits a pull-up jumper. Second quarter, coast-to-coast drive, finishing over 2 defenders. Third quarter, weaving through the lane, drawing fouls, calmly hitting free throws. Boston's crowd went from rowdy to restless. By the fourth quarter, everyone realized this kid wasn't just holding his own. He was taking over. 36 points, 11 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, and most importantly, 2 clutch free throws to tie the game in regulation. The game went into overtime. Rose didn't blink. The Bulls stole Game 1, 105-103. He had just tied Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record for most points in a playoff debut. First quarter, Rose sets the tone, attacking the paint early, forcing Boston to collapse on defense, opening passing lanes for teammates like Ben Gordon and Luol Deng. Second quarter, the Celtics push back. Pierce hits big shots. Ray Allen gets free for a 3. But Rose answers with fearless drives, slicing through the defense like a veteran. Third quarter, Boston traps him at half court. Doesn't matter. Rose splits the double team, finishes with a soft floater. The crowd murmurs. They know they're watching something special. Fourth quarter, back and forth scoring. Every possession feels like life or death. With 28 seconds left, Rose is fouled. Steps to the line, nails both free throws to force overtime. Overtime, no panic, just poise. Rose orchestrates the offense, finds Gordon for a jumper, and hits the final free throws that seal the upset. That night, headlines exploded. ESPN, TNT, local Chicago papers, all talking about Derrick Rose. Analysts called it one of the greatest playoff debuts ever. Players praised his composure. Fans flooded forums and social media calling him the future. For Chicago, this wasn't just a win. It was hope reborn. Rose didn't flex for cameras, didn't shout at opponents. He let the game speak. In a city built on blue-collar grit, that humility was magnetic. He became a mirror for Chicago's own identity. Tough, quiet, determined. Years later, fans would still talk about it. Where were you when Derrick Rose dropped 36 on the Celtics? It wasn't just his numbers. It was the way he carried himself. The way he played without fear. The way he made Chicago believe again. Before the injuries, before the heartbreak, before the comeback stories. There was that one game, that one night in Boston. One night that told us Derrick Rose was different. If this story brought back the chills of watching Derrick Rose in his prime, don't let it stop here. Hit that subscribe button for more legendary NBA moments, untold stories, and underdog journeys that shaped the game. And in the comments, tell me your favorite Derrick Rose moment. Let's keep the memory alive.